Yo guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you like this intro of me doing this magic trick, and if you want more, just tell me in the comments because I used to do magic before climbing. Anyways, let's get started in this 5-hour session that I did the other day, and we are gonna start off with this V8. So I'm gonna try to not cut this video to make it as authentic as possible, and also because it's annoying to edit it. But you can see here, I'm trying to flash this V8 and I waste my flash like an idiot because I slipped on my left hand, and I was actually really trying to flash these boulders because they were from the new reset and I could not get the flash of this one. But then I decided to brush the holes, and I got the sand pretty quickly after that. And I knew that some of my friends got the flash on this one, so I was getting a little pissed. Because I'm trying to work on my flashes lately. I'll probably be competing at the regionals, I think it's called, in Montreal, so all of Quebec, and probably nationals. So we'll see how it goes, but for now I need to work on my flashes and simply just getting better on sending boulders, intermediate boulders, not like hard projects. And probably more dynos and slabs, so things you see in competitions. So this one is really a competition boulder. From what you see here, they're like big holes. It's very friction dependent, and I was also trying to get the flash of this one, and my friend that was filming me, Benoit, flashed this one, so I was like, oh, okay, I gotta flash it, like it's gonna be easy. Turns out this sloper was a little more trash than it looked, and I was trying to grab like a screw hold, but I had a tape because I did not have much skin in that session, so I wanted to tape, and if I try hard on a project then I take it off. But for this one it did not help me because I needed all the friction with my fingers, and that one was keeping me away from sticking into this last sloper. Although I just cleaned it with the brush, and it was pretty easy after that. So on my first attempt, I really should have just brushed the hold, and I think I could have easily got the flash. It was nothing was especially hard on that boulder. Anyways, we are on a V9 now, and this one, I saw two of my friends get it, and I was trying to get a flash of this one, but as you just saw, I missed my flash. Because turns out it was a little tricky to do this flip. Not necessarily hard for me, but on your first attempt you don't really know what type of compression is going to be, and it was definitely a little closer than I thought. I thought it was going to be like a big compression, but nah, it was like slapping on the wall and then weird type of compression. But I knew I would probably get it on my next attempt. The problem was the next part, and here I didn't really know what to do, so I just decided to do this this weird beta just going up, but I knew it was not the right beta. You basically have to like play with the arêtes. That's the goal of this boulder. You have to like place hands in the arête, then put like a heel hook there or a toe hook, and then you grab the other arête, and then you play with the arêtes and try to figure out what's the best for your type of body. And you can see here, the toe hook was definitely not for me, because when I got to that point, I did not have any tension in my body. I was like too long for a toe hook. But what I did instead, when you're too long for a toe hook, you do a heel hook, because the reach is less than the toe hook. Because if you don't know, my wingspan is like 6'6" or 6'5.5". And so that means I have very long arms, and if I want to keep a nice tension, I need to be a lot shorter. And it's definitely easier if you find like a heel hook to make it a little closer. So that's what I did here. Although the transition from a toe hook to a heel hook was a little hard, that was definitely the crux for me here. And then this move was a little limit also, but once I hit it, it wasn't too bad. I think I gave it around 6-7 tries on this boulder, and I didn't try it from the beginning every time, so I was trying the transition from the heel hook, and once I got it, then it wasn't too bad. The ending was alright. But now we are on another V9, And I tried this one, I think, at the beginning of my session because I tried it in another session and I got to that sloper you see up there. But that was the only hard move of this boulder. Well, maybe the ending also, but the beginning was super easy. As you can see, I'm just cruising through these moves. But once you get there, it's a little tricky because you have to do this. I think that's the right beta. You have to do this toe hook and then heel hook with the other foot. But it's like you're using your arms to I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's not really good on your hands, and then you gotta play with your foot all the way to the other side, so you're not really comfortable. And unless you place your toe hook good, which I will do in this attempt, the move just feels weird. Although I did place my toe hook good, as you'll see here, I put it very far so I have space for my heel hook. I think this was like 4 hours in my session and I had no juice anymore. So I did get the heel hook, but I was completely pumped. So I did not get a send of that boulder. But now we are on a V10 and you can see these holds are so trash. Look at that pinch. It's probably the worst pinch ever. But don't worry, we're not gonna use it too much. I just use it to bump it again into the kind of a jug. But you can see all of these other holds are pretty slopey, rounded up. You see those holds, they don't have much friction, and it's definitely, I think it's worse than it looks, because when you're on the boulder you're doing a lot of compression, so even though there's no friction, at least you can really squeeze. That's like the style of this boulder, a lot of squeezing, compressions. So you definitely have to find all of these heel hooks in this boulder. I think I put like 10 heel hooks in this one. But for me, the trick was to be more efficient. So when you climb very fast, you use less strength, and that way you can keep some energy for the hard moves. And for this boulder, the hard move was definitely up there. So I'll get there in a second. This move was pretty hard, and I was actually surprised I got it on my first attempt on this session, because I tried this boulder probably like twice the other session, not really seriously, but then you saw I just fall on the bump, so that was definitely the crux. And having a crux up there is definitely tricky because you have to do all the beginning very efficiently. But I was trying to move isolated like this. I basically didn't do anything special in that attempt. I was just like this. I tried the same thing, just going bop again, and it felt hard again. So I was like, I'll try it again with that beta. So I did try it from the start, but as you can probably guess, I'm not gonna get the send of this boulder yet, because the bump with just the foot on the sloper on my right hand right now is not too good. You gotta take some weight off your arms, and when I'll get the send of this boulder, you'll see that I put a heel hook instead, and that took off a lot of weight off my arms. And when you take off some weight, you can generate more because you're not using much strength. So I fell again in that attempt, the same move. And I don't think it would have been efficient if I tried the boulder from the ground again, so I decided to go again from this position. And right here, my friend, the same one that flashed the V8s, Ben, he told me that the heel hook on the second sloper was easier for that move, and it was way easier. Like, the move did not feel any hard, but I knew it was going to be hard from the beginning. So here I am being a lot more efficient in the beginning. You can see I'm moving faster. I'm not making these stupid mistakes of misreading the boulder. And I got to this point pretty quickly. I knew the beta, so I was moving pretty fast. And right here, I got to the crux, and I remembered that I have to put my heel hook on the second one. And the bump did not feel easy, actually. Isolated, it was pretty easy, but from the beginning, I had to use a lot of strength, and I got the send of this boulder, so it was felt like a nice win, because that's not really my style, these type of compressions and a long boulder that you have to do a lot of moves. I'm usually more of a like one hard move type of guy, But yeah, that one was anti-style and I got the scent of it, so that was cool. Now we're on a V11. I've been projecting this one for like 3 or 4 sessions, and I was just not feeling it that day. I was trying the moves and I was slipping everywhere, and on my best try I got to that sloper on the big volume you see, the big black volume you see up there from the ground, and the ending's pretty easy. But in this session I was just not feeling it for some reason. I got to this point and pulling from there, I was not really doing anything special. So instead of wasting my energy, I decided to go into other boulders because I knew I wouldn't necessarily get it in that session. And I wanted to do a lot of boulders that session. So I went to this V8 that I probably tried twice a long time ago. And here was my first attempt on that session. And I did this weird beta. You saw at the beginning, like transition with this under. And I don't think I used V8 strength to do that boulder, but I got the scent of the boulder anyways. And it was nothing special, pretty much the beginning that I probably could have done better. And here I should not have missed the foot, took some energy off. But yeah, this one, normal V8. I don't have much to say about this one. So let's see, next one. My god, this one, I'll have a lot to say on this one. I did try it another session, and the beginning was like this every time, just slipping. I was like, what the hell is this beta? And I figured out that I can place a foot up, so placing my foot up like this, and then do the transition to the other wall. The problem here was that my right hand was a little blocked. I could not flip it, as you saw here. So on my next try, I decided to put it down already, and when I went to the hold, I could simply switch it, and you'll see it's going to be pretty easy. That's not really the crux of this boulder. The crux is to get to that crimp for me, the capped crimp you see up there, because the foot is so bad, and I wish I had a video of that foot, but I hate standing on it, and I had to go slowly to that crimp, and the crimp is super bad also because it's slopey. And also this move, it's not really easy. It's definitely harder than it looks. You're in this weird compression, and like I said, the foot is not too good, so I was not a fan of this position. But here I got to this move and I could not believe I dropped that move. I was so mad because I really thought for me the crux was gonna be like the transition to get to the small foot, and then I thought it was over. But then, as you can see here, I'm trying it again, and I missed that move again. So I was just for some reason like not comfortable on the foot, and I had to rush it a little to go to the crimp, and I was getting frustrated because yeah, I don't think it was necessarily a hard move. It's just from the beginning I was kind of slipping, and maybe my shoe was like slipping a little bit on my foot. But those are all excuses. I could have just I don't know, just my foot a little more. But the crimp was definitely bad. Like when you go up there a little dynamically, it can slip anytime. So that was annoying me a little. But on this attempt, I will do pretty much the same. Just I got the scent of this boulder, and I didn't think I was gonna give that many tries. So yeah, right here I was just getting the beta pretty much done with. I did this like 10 times already, and it was a matter of placing the foot well. Like I did on this attempt, I was giving it a little more time to feel comfortable on it and step a little more. And you can see I almost dropped it again because I was a little reachy on that one. I know like a normal person would have probably pressed on the right volume and then go very slowly, but I kind of just used my reach, and I don't think it was necessarily easier to do it that way, because when I used my reach I had to go dynamically and hold that crimp and hope it would not slip on my hand. Talking about a frustrating boulder, this one, I think these holds are the worst holds ever for me. We don't really see it from here, but these holds have like no friction on them, and the most frustrating part is that it wasn't really the boulder, it was just me. Like, for some reason I was not sticking into those holds, but I had like 3 friends that could do this boulder pretty easily. They didn't get the scent of the boulder, but these first moves, they felt way more comfortable than me at holding these slopers. But for some reason I was just not sticking, and I remember on that session I was telling them like, I hate these holds, like I hate them. And I really do. But I also tried the ending of this session, this boulder, and this move was definitely tricky. You have to put this really big heel hook, and I did not use those 2 holds up there. I know with the right beta you probably have to go left hand on that small type of triangle and then right hand probably, but I felt like I could just skip and really go into my left heel hook straight to the crimp up there. But this is a huge, oops, I paused it, but this is a huge heel hook. You can see here it's almost above my head, and I'm pretty flexible. So if I say it's a big heel hook, yeah, it's a big heel hook. Like right here, I was fighting for my life to push and not really finding the position to go to the crimp. And I tried it again and again and again, and I used so much energy on this boulder. But you know, not every boulder could be a success. Like, I kind of accepted this a few months ago, a few years ago maybe, that you don't necessarily have to go home with all success boulders. So that was definitely a boulder that I could not get on that session, and I'll probably not try again because it was not too interesting for me. But at least I know that yeah, there are some holds that I don't like, and the heel hook was hard. So anyways, on this one, this is a V8, and the hard move was definitely this last move. I had to like do a big lock off on my left hand and go statically and hope that the last one was a jug, and it was, fortunately. So I also tried it like once the other session, so that was my second attempt, and I got the send. At this point, I think it was like 4 hours and a half into my session, and this was probably the worst decision ever, to try a overhang V8 at the end of my session after like four and a half hours. And look at this boulder, it's like super cool, super pumpy also. And it looks really nice. Like, you have this rose move and then you go under and up, but right here I just powered out. Like, my forearms stopped working, I had nothing left. And I was like, yeah, I should probably go home, but I'll try to send this boulder again. So this is a V9 I flashed last session. And actually something interesting is all of the boulders you saw, I did not send them before. So everything I got in this session was the first time I got it. But this one, I did get it in my other session. I flashed it, and I was like, okay, I'll just do it again for the YouTube. I missed it. Like, this was the 5 hour in, and right there again I just powered out. You see the elbows, they were like this, and that was the time I was like, well, time to go home. So that was the last boulder of this session, and it was the only boulder I had send that I could not send again. So yeah, probably not a good idea to try this one after 5 hours. But anyways, those are the boulders I tried for 5 hours. And yeah, I hope you like the boulders. Hope you like the commentary and the magic trick at the beginning. So if you have any suggestions, tell me in the comments. And well, I'll see you next time. See ya.